Good morning to you. Hawkfanatic.com is brought to you by Deary Brothers Ford, Patrick Eads, and the staff on Mormon Trek. Steve Anderson, Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Mike's E-Keys for Cars. GT Car and his crew at Supple's Building and Remodeling. Supple's Flowers, the home of 1-800-800-ROSE. The Midtown Family Restaurants. Harty and Stocker Jewelers, 101 South Dubuque Street, downtown Iowa City. Diamond Dreams Sports Academy. Senior Benefits. Premier Automotive in North Liberty, the Oxyoke Inn and the Amanas. Streets Maintenance, by the way, Jimmy Street on vacation. He'll be back September the 15th. Dr. Lance Forbes, Diamond Dental in Cedar Rapids. And Big Dog Tech Solutions. Here's Tom Suter, Pat Harty from Hawkfanatic.com, and on the line with us is Coach Don Patterson.
Well, okay, another season getting underway here, Coach. What is this your 100th straight season now?
It seems like it at times, Tom, but it's my favorite time of the year, and I know a lot of our listeners feel that same way.
Well, it's really nice to have you back with us, and we appreciate your insights and you know, you're a football guy, and it shows.
And he brought the football weather with him.
I mean, yes, you did.
Good work. Don, it was almost cold when I woke up this morning.
Unbelievable. How can we go from a high of 95 to 75?
That's Iowa. And aren't we going back to 95 here shortly, or what's the extended, Captain?
You know, I'm not sure we're done with the hot weather, but at least in the near term we are, so that's a good sign.
Oh, yeah, enjoy every moment of this. All right, well, Don, we were talking over the weekend. I think it was we were talking after the Iowa State game. And, I mean, obviously we'll get into Iowa and Albany, but let's talk about two games that I watched this past weekend, Iowa State versus Kansas State. And then I did watch the Fresno State-Kansas game, too. Just your thoughts on the Iowa State-Kansas State game. What's your overall thoughts on both teams, how they played?
Well, you know, it was unfortunate that they had to start the game under less than ideal conditions. You know, I think the precipitation added to the sloppy play in the first half. The field, I think, was maybe not quite as good a footing as what you might see here in the States. But the first half was sloppy on both sides. 2 turnovers apiece, of course, in the first half. And then at halftime, you'd have to say, it appears the better team is from Manhattan, Kansas. But by the time the game ended, you'd certainly reserve the right to change your mind, because it did appear that Iowa State was the better team, and they deserved the win.
Yeah, and they did catch a break when Dylan Edwards got hurt on that punt return. I still don't know if it was his knee or his ankle. I don't know if they ever said it during the game, but like you said, Iowa State took advantage of that. And Tom and I were talking prior. Rocco Beck's a winner. He's elusive. He does open himself up to get hit pretty hard. What do you think of him in the second half, Rocco Beck?
Well, I do like him as a quarterback. I think he's the kind of guy that can extend plays. Yeah. You've always heard me say that you're much better off with a quarterback that at least has mobility and can avoid sacks. And Rocco's in that category. He's a tough guy. If he wanted to, coming out of high school, I think he'd probably be a good safety in FBS football. He's that athletic, and he's tough. So they're lucky to have him on their side. He's a good quarterback. Yeah. He's played a lot of football games already, of course. And, of course, he's grown up around football, too.
Yeah. What I like about their screen passes, especially to the Carson Hansen kid, they use their running backs. It's interesting the way they do that. That's going to be something Iowa obviously is going to have to contend with. So with what you saw from Iowa State Saturday, I thought they were better in the interior than I thought they were going to be on both sides, defense and offensive line. But from Iowa's point of view, what would concern you the most right now with Iowa having to go to Ames? Is there any one or two things about that Iowa State team that's going to really cause Iowa problems in your mind?
Well, I guess if I had to identify one player, it would be jersey number 3. It'd be the guy taking snaps.
Okay.
You know, Rocco's a winner, I think. And thankfully, we have a winner at quarterback also. This year, I think there can be just as many problems for Iowa State as Rocco is for us. So it should be an exciting game. two outstanding quarterbacks leading their offense, and of course the defenses are similar too.
Yeah.
In so many ways. John Haycock, I know really, really well. Used to coach against him when he was at Youngstown, and he thinks a lot like Phil does. He likes to think that he's better off playing a lot of zone coverage and having a lot of eyeballs on the football at all times and not giving up big plays. The irony there, of course, is he give up a couple of big plays.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if they have any concerns, one concern I'd have as an Iowa State fan, you got to be more sound in the back end. They gave up two big touchdowns. They ran what we call a sluggo, a slant and go with an inside receiver. The safety was beaten badly for a touchdown. And then on top of that, of course, they threw the ball over the top of the defense. They were in half coverage, but the safety simply didn't play high enough.
No, he didn't.
Number 20, I don't know his name, but he got beaten, and he simply got hung up on an inside receiver and couldn't quite defend the boundary.
Coach, I have a question for you. This is a little it's related, of course, but okay, so Iowa State and K-State agreed to go ahead and play this game in Ireland.
Yes.
Coach Ferentz has come out and said that he is not in favor of doing
at all.
So what are your feelings on that? And, what are your feelings on that?
Well, I would not prefer to play a showdown game in conference play for game one on foreign soil. That's a little bit odd. Officially, it was a home game for K-State.
Uh-huh.
And for all I know, maybe the PA announcer was even a K-State announcer. I'm not sure how they worked that. They made some reference to it during the game, and I do believe that might be true. That they gave up a home date for this game, and Iowa State did not.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how the revenue was all split and all that, but I do know that I'd prefer not to play that kind of game. We did play a couple of kickoff classics, you might remember.
Yeah.
First game I ever covered.
Back in the day. But the only problem with that, now the nice thing about it, it was the only college football game to start the season. So you had of course, a big TV audience for those games against Tennessee and
North Carolina State.
North Carolina State, yeah.
I was impressed with the crowd, and it looked like it was pretty much half and half between K-State and Iowa State.
And there was a decent amount of Iowa media over there, and my guess is, because I was thinking if this was me, you'd try to turn that into a vacation. If you're going out there,
for sure,
you try to kill two birds. If that makes sense.
It's expensive.
So, Don, are you thinking? And I agree, I sort of agree with you. I'm trying to picture myself if I was a head coach. To me, the risk outweighs the reward in playing a game like this, especially a key conference opponent out of the gate in a strange place. That's the kind of the vibe I got from Kirk. And is that sort of how you feel?
Yeah, I really do. I don't think you gain that much. You'd like to start off only needing to walk rather than run. Obviously, it felt a little bit like a bowl game, of course. You had two good teams that were evenly matched. But in truth, it was more at stake than just a bowl win. Right now, the winner of the game, of course, has a leg up in the Big 12.
Big league, yeah.
Because it would have to be classified as a showdown game.
I'll tell you what, too, and if let's say Kirk announces his retirement after this year, those two coaches would be two of my first calls if I was Beth. What do you think, Suter?
Interesting. My guess is it might be somebody, may lean towards somebody on staff. But
I'm not ready to say that. I don't know.
But I don't know.
I mean, that's from your vibe?
That's from, I don't know.
I don't get that feeling with Beth. I'm not saying it won't have. If it
I don't think
been,
Matt Campbell would even consider.
Oh, I don't either. I think Chris Kleeman would. And that's just my gut feeling. What Don, don't you? I mean, both of those guys could be good head coaches at Iowa, don't you think?
Well, I think they are both outstanding coaches. If I had to choose one of the two, I'd choose Matt Campbell. And that's not to be critical of Chris, because he's an outstanding coach as well. But I think Matt's got a slight edge on him. I just think back to the decision in the game. I think it was a poor decision for K-State to go forward on 4th and 1.
That one surprised me.
In minus territory.
Yeah, I didn't get that one.
Well, it didn't work either.
And
No.
It cost them.
And they didn't get a good mark
it-
either. Don, I did not like the mark. I thought he made it, but with where they marked it, he did not make it. No, I was surprised they went for it. 39 or 40, but 29-yard line with that much time left. So what do you think? Was he sending a message? Hey, let's to his offensive line. You know what when you're a coach and you make that call, what do you think the message you're trying to send?
Well, it shows you have confidence in those offensive players on the field. But let's face it, it's not like they were just running up and down the field with the football.
No.
I give Iowa State credit for making good halftime adjustments. The second half certainly belonged to Iowa State. The team that ran the ball well in the first half, of course, was K-State. But in the second half, the roles reversed.
No, you're right about that. Yeah, that especially in the fourth quarter, the Hansen kid really took over. And I agree with you, Tom. I don't think Matt Campbell would come here almost under any circumstance. No. But you still make the call, and Iowa still could probably pay him Kirk's making at least $2.5 million more per year, I think, right now than him. Right, you could make more money at Iowa
for sure.
But no, I don't think he would come here. But I agree with Don. He is one of the best.
He's done a terrific job at Iowa State.
Yeah, because Don, what impressed me again is how good their defensive line was. I mean, just your thoughts on, especially that defensive end. 95 was so active, knocking passes down. I was impressed.
Yeah, he's a big, strong guy and pretty agile for his size, and he certainly is a force inside. I'll tell you another guy I like too is that what they call a star, it'd be the equivalent of our cash player. I forget his name, but he was. I couldn't help but notice him. He made a lot of plays.
Remember his number?
Marcus Neal.
Oh, Marcus Neal, number 31, yes, yeah. And Jeremiah Cooper, who I was talking to Tom, he seems like he's been at Iowa State playing safety for years. No, they're a very formidable opponent. They're ranked for a reason, but now, of course, Iowa does have a game prior to that. We can't forget about the Great Danes.
So let's look at the Great Danes.
Albany's coming here.
Bit.
Don, what can you tell us about the Albany Great Danes? I know they finished 4-8 last season. If they were to beat Iowa Saturday, where would that rank among upsets in the history of college football?
Well, it'd be at the top of the list in games involving Iowa, I think.
I think you're right about that, and probably one of the biggest in the Big Ten. So tell us a little bit about Albany.
Well, I've done some research on Albany, and I bet I can mention a couple of things that you're not aware of.
I'm sure you can.
Do you know, Pat, that we actually have a player on our team now that played against Albany less than 2 years ago? Are you aware of that?
Yeah, somebody said something at Media Day, but it's completely gone. So fill us in. Who is it?
Well, our player's name is Gronowski.
Oh, that's okay. Yes, he was asked about that.
Right.
That's right. Yes, you're right about that. So,
and the results were very positive.
Yes.
In that game, the final that day. This is actually in the playoff semifinals. They're down to the Final Four, and obviously Albany had beaten a team or two that they weren't supposed to beat. So here they are playing South Dakota State at South Dakota State.
Yep.
The final was 59-0. Mark had a good day. He was 15 for 19 for 265 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And as if that wasn't enough, he also averaged 10 yards per carry on 5 different rushing attempts.
Sign me up.
So, yeah. One game after that, they beat Montana 23-3 to win their second consecutive national title.
I remember watching that game.
South Dakota State finished that season with a 29-game winning streak. The reason I bring that up to you, their last loss at that point in time happened to be 7-3 in Kinnick Stadium.
Okay, that's right.
And you remember that game?
Yes, because funny, now it came back to me. Gronowski was asked about he goes, well, let's just say the Albany game turned out a lot better for me than the Iowa game did. That I do remember him saying. He's got a good sense of humor, very dry.
All right, Coach.
Yeah, it was on the same season.
Yep, it was. Yes, it was.
All right, Coach, put on your offensive coordinator hat. And how do you attack the Great Dane defense, and how much of the offense do you think we will keep under wraps?
I would expect that we're going to try to win the game with a lot of what we would refer to as base plays.
Yeah.
Base plays are simply plays that everybody knows we run. We're simply going to go into the game with confidence we can execute regardless of what they do.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what you're going to see. My guess is they prefer to win the game and look good doing it, of course, be able to play a lot of players and not give away any new secrets with how we like to play.
Mm-hmm.
I would expect that to happen. We got a big point spread. I think trying to think of what the
35
and a half, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw it should be, if you could deal in Vegas numbers, 43 for us and no, maybe 48.5 for us, I think it was, and 5.5 for them.
Okay.
I think it's a point spread of 43 points, something like that. Can't remember the exact numbers. But it's supposed to be a one-sided game, of course, and we'll hope that we can get that done.
And if it's not, then I wonder what social media is going to be like.
Well, like what it always is.
Yes, I know.
Let me give you a couple of things to Albany's credit. Last year, as you mentioned, Pat, they were only 4-8, but in one-score games, they were actually 3-1. So the point is, let's be sure it's not close because Albany actually has an idea that they can win those games.
Yeah, I mean, if it
makes them.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, based on 1 year ago, this impressed me too. The last game they played last fall was against Hampton. You might be familiar with Hampton University.
Yeah.
Yes.
And late in the first half, Hampton was up 28-0. Here's the part that'll surprise you. The final score, Hampton 34, Albany 41.
Wow.
Albany outscored them 41-6 after giving up the first 28 points.
Wow. Well, Don, I'm going to put you on the spot.
The point is they didn't give up. They kept fighting.
I want to put you on the spot. Who wins between Albany and UMass, Iowa's opponent in first and third weeks this season? Who would you pick?
Well, I would suspect that UMass would win that game, but it would make for an interesting game.
Okay.
Since you mentioned UMass, you're probably already aware. I saw one preseason ball. FBS football. There's 136 teams. And you want to guess where UMass was ranked in the preseason?
136th?
Number 135.
Put 35,
I don't
okay.
remember who was 136. So they're not a good team either.
And haven't been for a while.
Again, our goal will be simple, to win the game and gain confidence with how we can play and make sure we look good doing it. So we're going to go into the game with a lot of confidence that we can move the ball and execute. And I would guess we probably don't want to give away a lot of secrets in that game either unless we have to.
Yeah. Yeah, this as far as non-conference schedules go, Tom, don't you agree this one does not rank real high up there as far as interest and interest, you know what I mean, as far as competitiveness.
I saw a quote from Matt Campbell that said, "We have the hardest schedule in America." Going to Ireland to play, and then they have to play South Dakota.
I think Wisconsin would like a word.
I think Wisconsin would like a word, and then they have Iowa, and then they have another.
Tough. But
Arkansas State.
But Wisconsin. Don, you've seen Wisconsin's schedule, haven't you?
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
I don't have it in front of me, but I did. Speaking of conference play, I did a little bit of research, and one of the things I did write down is simply strength of schedule. Now this is ESPN's opinion on this, but I'm sure it's similar to a lot of other opinions. For the record, Wisconsin, according to ESPN, has the fourth toughest schedule in the country.
Mm-hmm. I believe it.
So the one coach in the Big Ten that needs a tough schedule the least is the guy that's got it.
Yes,
and that would be
exactly.
Luke Fickell, who's under fire already, of course, before the season's ever started.
You're right about that. All right, Tom, I'll put you on the spot. Is Pat Fitzgerald the Wisconsin head coach next season?
Oh, now that is an interesting.
Or is he going to be
interesting speculation?
There's a lot of, or is he going to be an advisor at Iowa by Game 3 of this year?
I think he's going to be an advisor at Iowa. I do.
Yeah, I mean
next year I don't know. Fickell, if he goes 7-5, they will build a statue for him.
I was joking. No, if he goes 7-5, he's.
According to the Wisconsin fans I talked to,
yeah, he's under it. But so
that schedule's just
so you're buying this narrative on the internet that Fitzgerald is on the verge of joining the Iowa.
I kind of think. I mean, his kids on the team. I think he would.
So what are you basing this on?
The fact that he has kids on the team. Pat Fitzgerald and Kirk have a lot of I think they're simpatico, and I think that,
so nothing you've heard.
No.
Yeah, Don, you and I talked about
just
this.
my feelings.
But the thing is, though, Pat Fitzgerald's a defensive coach. You've already got Phil Parker, and you've already got the assistant head coaches. So, Don, what are your thoughts on that? Is there a need for Pat Fitzgerald right now as an advisor or whatever you can make him?
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's a need. Not that Pat wouldn't bring value to us, but my gosh, I think we know a lot about defensive football already.
Yeah,
because of the people you've already mentioned.
Well,
so I think the more likely scenario, frankly, would be that Wisconsin's looking for a coach, and Pat decides that that's a good place to land.
Yeah, and now of course a lot has to happen. Fickle, Wisconsin. If he goes 8-4, 9-3, then you better keep him. But
oh my God, yes.
But if
he's 9-3, he might be the coach of the year in the Big Ten, I'd say.
Yeah, if they go 9-3, he's probably the coach of the year in the Big Ten because there's. But man, they were not good against Iowa last year. They just have not been very good. They just haven't gotten any better, is what I guess you should say. But hey, I wanted to ask you about the Fresno State Kansas game. I watched it. I saw Brian Ferentz on the sideline, very engaged, coaching the tight ends and whatnot. Don, did you have any chance to watch that? Because I was impressed with Kansas, and man, they're really upgrading that program, the facilities and everything.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching some of that game. I was stepping back and forth, but I was impressed with KU's offense. The quarterback, I believe, two incompletions on the day. I think he was something like 18 for 20.
Mm-hmm.
And he also is an athlete that can extend plays, as you know. The offense reminded me a lot of the offense that Andy left behind at KU. Of course, the head coach is the same.
Mm-hmm.
But Andy Kotelnicki had a good offense when he left for Penn State, and they're still running that same offense. Reminded me a lot of the same offense they had a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and that quarterback, Jalen Daniels, he's in his 6th year, I believe. He is, for the college game, he is so effective. And
yes, he is.
But they're doing a big facility upgrade down there, and it's impressive what he's got going on there. As far as Fresno State, I watched their tight ends. They blocked well. They seem to be somewhat involved in that offense. I didn't realize until the second quarter that was Kurt Warner's son playing quarterback.
Yeah, I made a comment to Lisa. I was feeling a little bit sorry for E.J. Warner. I said, well, he's certainly not his dad at this point in time.
No.
And I don't know that he'll ever resemble his dad for
who's in the Hall of
how
Fame.
He can take snaps and execute. But in his defense, honestly, Fresno did not look like a very good football team. And I think they're in for a long season based on one game.
Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah, they have a lot of work to do to become a solid team. Incidentally, Warner, this is his third school. But he started off in Nebraska. I can't remember where school number 2 was. But obviously he's looking for a place to play, and he's found it in Fresno.
He's not real
and
big.
The bad news is he might not have a great supporting cast.
Yeah, it was. Of course, I was watching the tight ends as closely and what have you, but they're deep. Yeah, they look like there's a reason they have a new head coach, and they're moving in a new direction. They've been struggling, and because I'm not convinced Kansas is a 10-2 team. They look pretty good. What do you think of Kansas? I mean, what do you expect from them in the Big 12?
I just don't know that much about the conference. Obviously, it's not going to be easy for Kansas to beat K-State or Iowa State or Utah. I'm assuming they play them all in that league. I guess I don't know that everyone plays everyone. I think they might, but maybe not. Not sure. I can't keep track of how many teams are even in the league now.
It's hard. It is hard. Here's another interesting scenario. Let's say Nebraska goes 4-8 this year. Does Matt Rule survive?
4-8. I don't know that he would.
5-7.
I don't know that he would either.
Do you think they would hire Pat Fitzgerald?
Well, you're right. I think Pat Fitzgerald's going to be a hot commodity, and if there's a good job out there, they're going to be talking to Pat Fitzgerald. I would fully expect that, especially within the Big Ten.
Okay, Tom, I'm going to put you on the spot. Don, I won't put you on the spot. Let's say Kirk retires and Pat Fitzgerald wants the job, and then you've got LeVar Woods and Seth Wallace. Who you taking?
And
Phil,
you also have Tim Lester.
And Tim Lester, Phil Parker. Phil, I mean, at this stage, I mean, he's my age. It might be a little harder. But, okay, if Fitzgerald wants the job against all the internal, who are you taking? Don, Don, I wouldn't put you on the spot.
Well, let's just say Beth Getz makes the big money for a reason. And she's going to have to figure out, do I stay in-house? Do I want something completely different?
I'm interpreting that as you are saying Pat Fitzgerald without offending the Iowa coaches on the staff.
I would say that he would get an interview.
Yeah, unless
for sure.
Yeah. So, okay, I mean, this is just all kind of. But I believe, Don. Do you believe that Pat Fitzgerald will be a head coach by the 26th by next season, a college head coach?
Yes, I do.
Okay, because some of them maybe.
I think he wants to coach again, and of course he's been, as I understand it, there's been a statement issued that says Pat Fitzgerald was not responsible for what happened, and
he's been cleared.
And I don't know what that settlement is, but I got a feeling Pat doesn't have to worry about paying his bills.
I'm guessing whatever Pat decides to do next, money ain't going to be the deciding factor because he doesn't need it.
And I guess there's always the chance he could go to the NFL, but to me, Pat Fitzgerald seems more college. Do you agree with that, Don?
I do. I have great respect for Pat Fitzgerald. I've thought for years he's one of the best coaches in the Big Ten, and let's face it, Northwestern's a tough job.
Yeah, because he was struggling.
He handled it very well.
No, you're right. He was struggling. His last couple of years were not as good as they have been. But no, he's got a proven track record. It's going to be interesting to see where he goes. And I would see him more preparing to be a head coach in 26 as opposed to taking some quick fix advisor thing just to fill the gap right now. But maybe I could be wrong. That's my hunch. What do you think about that, Don?
Well, it's funny you mentioned, I flashed back a little bit on my own circumstance a long, long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I was with Coach Fry for 20 years here at Iowa. And you might recall I was given an interview for the job, which I appreciated the chance to do. And I think the interview certainly went okay, if not better than okay. I certainly prepared for it. I did hear from someone on the committee that said you were the most prepared of any coach we interviewed.
That does not surprise me.
But he also said, Coach, you're not going to get the job because the fans are looking for a bigger change than what you represent. I was Coach Fry's right-hand man, and they wanted a change at that point in time, and I understood that because it's hard to stay on top. And we talked about it before. Mm-hmm. It's not easy as Coach Fry got into his later years. It's not easy to maintain a great staff because, as you know, Barry Alvarez got tired of waiting to be a defensive coordinator, so he left. Couldn't blame him for that. And then, of course, he took Dan and Bernie to Wisconsin, and we lost other good coaches. Bill Snyder to K-State.
Yeah.
I remember vividly, Bill said, I want you with me here at K-State. And I said, Bill, I'll be with you unless Coach Fry gives me your old job. And I called Bill back the next day and I said, Bill, I'm not coming. No offense, but I'm going to coach quarterbacks and receivers here. And so we lost good coaches because they were ready to be head coaches. Mm-hmm. And my only point in bringing it up, some fans probably would prefer that we hire somebody from outside the program.
Oh, I know that.
For sure.
For sure. And that's no knock on LeVar Woods or the other. Not at all. But, no, there are definitely fans that want something new, different. I talked to them.
Yeah.
So, but Kirk's still the guy, and I'll tell you, if they go 9-3, which right now I have them going, Kirk's, if he chooses to keep coaching, it's his call if he can keep them that consistent. Now, if they go 5-7, things are going to start to heat up a little bit, and we've talked about Wisconsin's schedule. Iowa's schedule is not easy. I mean, once you get past the two gimmies, this is a tough schedule.
No, we got 3 teams that made the college playoffs last year.
And they're all 3 at home, aren't they? Indiana, Oregon, and Penn State.
Yeah.
So, all right, Don, I will. Well, I wanted to ask.
Talking about Iowa's schedule for a minute. You might be curious. Again, that same rating system that Sports Illustrated, that ESPN came up with. Mm-hmm. Iowa has got the 22nd ranked toughest schedule in the country. And you're thinking, well, that's a concern. Believe it or not, it's only based on those same ratings. It's only the 8th toughest in the Big Ten.
Wow. How much does UMass and Albany figure into that?
You know, my guess is they can. You're right. I think one reason we're only ranked the 8th is because of the 2 soft non-conference opponents that you've already mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why we were only 8th among 18 conference schools in strength of schedule, and yet we're 22nd in the country. So, but here's what is encouraging to me. Let's do this. Let's just look at the preseason top 25. Again, ESPN I'm looking at. And I think most of the preseason polls would have similar numbers. We have 3 teams in the top 10, and then we have another 3 teams that are included in the top 20.
Mm-hmm. And then Iowa's the 17th.
So you probably have an idea of which teams are in which group. In the top 10, you got in no particular order. You got Ohio State, Penn State, and Oregon. Right?
Yes.
And we played 2 out of those 3.
Yep.
Okay. Let's move on to the next 3. 3 teams ranked between 10 and 20.
Is that Michigan?
Those teams are, in no particular order, Illinois, Indiana, and Michigan.
Yeah. We play 1.
We only played 1 of those 3.
Mm-hmm.
So we played 3 of the top 6 teams in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
At least that's based on preseason polls. Incidentally, we would be the 7th team.
And Don, not to interrupt, but I think a really dangerous game, and I have Iowa losing, is at USC. I know USC's only picked 9th preseason, but I think they're going to be better than people expect. And Iowa does not play well in Los Angeles. Don't you think USC is going to be a tough game, despite where they're ranked?
Absolutely. Absolutely, I do. I think that will be a tough game. As you know, they had a horrible record in one-score games.
Yeah, they did.
You know, the odds of them doing that again are not very good. I mean, they're going to learn from it, and I think they have a better chance to win those one-score games this next season than what they were able to get done last year.
Hey, before we wrap up, I got to Lee Corso is going to be his final game day this coming Saturday. I wrote a column today. It was the morning after an Iowa Bowl game, and I was flying out of somewhere in Florida. I don't remember the specifics. It was like 5:30 in the morning. I walk into the concourse, and you put your luggage down, you sit, and I look over there, and there's Lee Corso going through notes and whatever. And I had the nerve to work up and introduce myself to him, and when I told him I cover Iowa, I was working at the Press Citizen at the time. I told him that I covered Iowa. Don, he could not have been a nicer person at 5:45 in the morning. It was either Orlando, Miami. And when I told him about Iowa, right away he talked about Hayden Fry. That man was so good for Iowa, and he was so good for college football. He built so many men. He just went on, and for like 5-10 minutes made me feel so important. And I will never forget that. And I wrote about that. And what I see on television is what he is away. He's not phony. He's genuine.
And wasn't he the head coach in
Indiana? And that's the other thing,
Indiana.
Don. I did. It was 20. You guys scored on your first 4 possessions. You were up 26-3 at halftime, and then Indiana came back with 27 unanswered points in the second half. So he's got that connection with Hayden too, and I think he's proud of that. From when I remember. But remember, this was like 20 years ago.
Let me tell you a story from that very day. It's a true story. And it just kind of epitomizes who Lee Corso is again. We're out in pregame, and of course, you know how that goes. We have our end of the field. They have their end of the field. And I'm out toward midfield, and here comes Coach Corso. And he comes up to me, and he said, hey, Coach, do me a favor. Tell me, where's Hayden right now? And I said, well, Coach, he's down there near the end zone at the moment. But you're more than welcome to go down there, of course, and visit with him. But I'm sure he'll be up here toward midfield shortly. And he said, I'll just wait. I don't want to create a stir down on your end of the field. So he just mentioned in passing, he just volunteered to me. He said, you know, I had a hard time getting our guys out of the locker room because they're afraid to come out here and take you guys on. And I'm thinking, Coach, this is not my first rodeo either. I'm pretty sure I shouldn't believe you with all this talk about your players being afraid to play Iowa. But that's just the kind of guy he was. He brought it up, and of course I didn't take him seriously at all with what he said. And to Indiana's credit, they came back and beat us that day, and I think Hayden explained it pretty well. we hadn't had much success in recent years here at Iowa. And it was a new territory for us to have a big lead at the half of any game.
Sure, fans were in shock.
And we handled it very poorly. We let them get back in the game. And, of course, as you know, they won it right at the end.
Well, they had a good Tim Clifford was their quarterback. They had
good.
some decent. Ernie Jones, I believe, was they scored on a long touchdown pass with a minute to go in the game. So, yeah, it was – but it was just – I mean, I'll just never forget that. And I had I brought up also Doug Collins. I had a similar encounter with him and Gene Cady. And I've talked about those before, and I mentioned those. Just you learn a lot when you meet a celebrity away from everything. And because I've had some other chance meetings with celebrities, Don, and haven't gone near as well. They were actually jerks, so they couldn't have been more. So it's always so refreshing when you see somebody who's like, I don't know if you've ever met Gene Cady. You remember Gene Cady, the Purdue men's basketball coach, had that evil, nasty-looking scowl all the time. Looked like the meanest guy in the world.
Nicest guy in the world.
Nicest guy in the world. I mean, you're just not going to meet a nicer guy. But in the heat of the moment, he's coaching. But that's what's so cool, though, is all the people you meet along the way. And I know you've met some fascinating people along the way in your career.
Well, a couple of my favorites, I'll just share them with you. I was in an airport back east years and years ago, and I recognized the guy. We were at the gate, and I went over and introduced myself to him. And you remember the name. His name is Jim Palmer.
Sure.
One of the best pitchers in the history of Major League Baseball. And he was unbelievably nice.
That's good to hear.
We were on the same plane, and we just sat and talked for quite a while. That one impressed me. Here's another one of my favorites. You remember back in the days of the golf tournament, the Amana VIP?
Sure,
remember that tournament?
Yep.
That we used to play in Iowa City?
What'd you meet,
That
Goober?
celebrity golf tournament?
Lee
Yeah,
Trevino?
no. Did you meet Goober from Andy Griffith? George Lindsay?
No. We were, this is after we had gone to or maybe we just clinched the Rose Bowl trip in 81. And Coach Rice said, okay, what do we not have that we need? And somebody said, Coach, I know what I'd like to ask you to arrange for us. Could we be invited to the Amana VIP? And they had a Friday night, or whatever the night was, the night before the golf outing. They had a big shindig out at the Highlander, and they brought in all the entertainers, and they all performed just having fun, you know. But, of course, you had to be invited to it because there wasn't much room, so we got invited. And I enjoyed that. I forget who the celebrities were that year. But I do remember who one of them was very well, because we're leaving at the end of the night. It's probably about 11 or 11:30. We're out in the lobby of the Highlander, and here comes Bobby Knight. And
lucky
I
you
took
guys.
full advantage of the opportunity. I said, Coach Knight, I'd like to introduce myself to you. I'm one of the football coaches here at Iowa. My name is Don Patterson. But what would impress you probably more, I graduated from West Point in '73. And he said, you got that right. That impressed me a hell of a lot more than you being a coach at Iowa. And he was just kidding, of course.
I could see him
Lisa
saying
was
that.
there, and he could not have been nicer in meeting Lisa and myself. And it's like 11:30 at night. He's got to play golf the next morning. And he asked Lisa, he said, have you ever been to West Point before? And she said, no, I haven't, but I look forward to going. I'm sure we're going to go sometime in the near future. And he said, oh, let me tell you about it. It's a beautiful place. And he told a great story. It was about Douglas MacArthur, you know, General MacArthur.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And it was the last time he addressed the Corps of Cadets. And he likes to tell the story. He said, and if you're familiar, all 4,000 cadets sit down and eat meals at all times together. Mm-hmm. It's a huge dining hall, of course, and in the middle of the dining hall is an elevated, what they call the poop stand is what they call it. And it's like a castle almost, you know, you're standing above all the cadets, and you can see out in all directions within the mess hall. And here's Douglas MacArthur addressing the Corps for what is clearly the last time he'll ever talk to them. And he mentions the Corps, he's probably in his 90s then or 80s. And he said, I left the Waldorf Astoria this morning, and the doorman snapped to attention as I went through the door. And he said, General MacArthur, it's a beautiful day today. What are your plans? And he said, well, I think I'll take a trip up the Hudson to see West Point. And the doorman said, oh, it's a beautiful place. Have you ever been there before? And, of course, the cadets thought that was really funny because the doorman was not aware that Douglas MacArthur was one of the best-known grads in the history of the United States Military Academy.
That is interesting. How did MacArthur handle that? Do we know the question?
He got a chuckle out of the cadets, of course, and he went on to give a really appropriate last address to the Corps.
Okay.
But
that's great.
I thought it was neat that Bobby Knight wanted to tell that story to Lisa.
There was a good side to Bobby Knight. Unfortunately, I saw the bad side multiple times, but we don't need to get into that. But, hey, Don, this has been fun. A great way to kick off.
I want to say I've got some messages, Don, on Facebook, and they love hearing you back again. And one guy said, I've listened. I'll read it. I have listened to you for many years, never knew what to make of you. But if Coach Patterson is on your station, I guess you're okay.
Well, there you go. Well, Donnie, you're making us...
Well, as you guys know, this is my way of giving back to the fans.
Sure.
I'm so grateful for the fan support that we had in our 20 years. And, of course, Kirk has enjoyed that same kind of support that we always had. And it's just my way to give back to the fans, is to have these sessions on the radio with you guys.
Well, I know they enjoy it from the feedback I get.
And I get so much feedback, too, Donnie, that the people are excited to have you back again this year. And we look forward to talking to you again next Monday after, hopefully, a solid victory.
If we're not talking to you after a victory, then we got a lot to talk about. So, but Don, look forward to it. Enjoy the week. Enjoy the weather. And we'll talk to you next Monday.
Always a pleasure, guys. Take care.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.
That was fun. Should we take a break?
Great. Let's take our break, and we'll be right back.
He better never run into Fabian.
Fine.
Football fans, this is Bill Leixenring of the Oxyoke Inn. We are on your way to or from the game. We're ready to serve you with the same quality food and customer service you've come to trust for over 80 years. The Oxyoke Inn is serving our famous Sunday brunch buffet with lunch, dinner, banquets, and carry-out daily. From our Oxyoke family to yours, we can't wait to see you again soon in the heart of Amana.
The Oxyoke Inn.
1-800-800-ROSE. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist is the only number you need to know to send flowers anywhere in the country or Canada from anywhere in the country. 1-800-800-ROSE. It's so easy. Just remember one number, 1-800-800-ROSE, your FTD florist. 1-800-800-ROSE. Remember,
for a gift that your loved one will treasure for a lifetime, find it at our family-owned jewelry store in Iowa City, Harty and Stocker Jewelers.
We can show you diamond engagement rings, colored stones, fashion jewelry, and watches.
Our jewelers are on site, so we can design jewelry for that special person in your life.
We are Harty and Stocker, serving Iowa City and the surrounding area for 3 generations.
Harty and Stocker Jewelers, downtown Iowa City, and HartyandStockerJewelers.com. Ask for Willa, Terry, Tim, or Kate. One of us is always there.
Don't wait for an emergency to get a backup for your car keys. Unlike the olden days, car keys have gotten extremely complex. Mike's eKeys for Cars can generate the most technically advanced automotive keys that are on the market today. For spares and lost keys, Mike's eKeys for Cars can produce most conventional transponder, high security, and remote head keys. Mike's eKeys for Cars will keep you on the road. Call 319-330-9185 and schedule an appointment today. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 319-330-9185 today.
You take great care to maintain your home or business inside and out. But maybe, just maybe, there's something missing. Something that makes your home stand out among the others in your neighborhood. Something that makes your business pop and increases traffic. Something that you can change and customize at your command. Well, there's a solution, and that's Illuminlight's permanent outdoor lighting from Big Dog Tech. Illuminlights provides illumination for every occasion. Holiday lighting, accent lights, security, and of course lighting for all your favorite sports. The Illuminlights app lets you create your own patterns with color, motion, brightness, and static control over every individual light, or use Big Dog's presets to transform your home or business. The professionally installed track system makes Illuminlight's LEDs virtually disappear until you turn them on. Rated at 50,000 hours, you'll enjoy stress-free convenience for years to come. For more information about Illuminlight's permanent outdoor lighting, go to BigDogTEK.net or give them a call at 319-395-0800. That's 319-395-0800.
Hi, I'm Jim Street, owner of Streets Maintenance. As a licensed, insured, and bonded master plumber, I specialize in all plumbing repairs, including but not limited to water heater and sump pumps to toilet and faucet repairs and replacements. As an Iowa City native, I know how frustrating it can be when any part of your plumbing system breaks down. That's why I only use trusted brands and quality materials. I offer same-day, next-day service coupled with a fair price. I also offer general services to mobile homes. For more information about my business, I'm online at streetsmaintenance.com and Facebook, or give me a call at 400-4483, 400-4483.
Streets Maintenance, honest plumbing at a fair price.
On an athletic team, you need team players, good athletes, superior equipment, and the best coaches available. In real estate, you need to have a good title and settlement team at your disposal. Hi, this is Steve Anderson. Whether you're buying, selling, or refinancing, you need quality title and settlement services. Consider the team at Hawkeye Title. Give us a call at 351-8600. Hawkeye Title and Settlement, the team you love, the people you trust.
Don't let just anyone take care of your smile. At Diamond Dental, you can expect compassion, expertise, and a personalized care plan to protect your teeth for life. With more than 30 years of combined experience, Dr. Forbes and his staff are prepared to tackle even your toughest dental problems, leaving your smile healthy and sparkling. Diamond Dental offers a full range of general and cosmetic dentistry, as well as dental treatment options for snoring and sleep apnea. It's never too early to start thinking about what's best for your smile. Schedule an appointment today by calling 319-390-3703 or visiting the office at 5815 Consul Street Northeast, Suite D1 in Cedar Rapids. You can also visit DiamondDentalPC.com for more information. Dr. Forbes is a proud sponsor of the Hawkeye Wrestling Club and the Inner Circle. Let the Diamond Dental team provide superior care for your entire family.
This is Leah Pasha, and I've been saying, hit a deer, call Premier for years. But it's time for something new. It's still where you need to go for deer divots and door dings, as well as damaged dashboards. That's what my dad Nathan's driving at and dreams about. Why not say, when your car is dinged, be a deer and call Premier? I think Dad's going to love that. Premier Automotive, North Liberty's premier auto body repair shop.
Be a deer and call Premier Auto Body in North Liberty.
This is Leah Pasha, and I've been saying, hit a deer, call Premier for years. But it's time for something new. It's still where you need to go for deer divots and door dings, as well as damaged dashboards. That's what my dad Nathan's driving at and dreams about. Why not say, when your car is dinged, be a deer and call Premier? I think Dad's going to love that. Premier Automotive, North Liberty's premier auto body repair shop.
Be a deer and call Premier Auto Body in North Liberty.
Diamond Dream Sports Academy 20,000 square foot indoor facility holds 8 batting cages, space for infield work, space for throwing and pitching and all your arm care needs. Offers private instruction, group lessons, camps and clinics, leagues, memberships. Rentals available at Diamond Dreams is open to the public.
Our top level instructors include former professional, college, and Olympic athletes. Our coaches will help these athletes achieve their full athletic potential, develop a strong work ethic, and a solid base to build. The last thing you want to do is look back and wish you had worked or played harder.
Locally owned and established in 2005, Diamond Dreams is Eastern Iowa's premier training facility. Located at 2905 Stoner Court, North Liberty. Call today and reserve your time. 319-665-2173. 319-665-2173.
GT Carr, owner of Supple's Building and Remodeling, has been offering unmatched service and quality for over 25 years. The trained professionals at Supple's Building and Remodeling will install and guarantee the products used in any job, no matter how big or small. They also stand behind their work and offer no-nonsense, exceptional customer service from design to completion and beyond. Whether it's a simple window replacement or a major house addition, you'll have the confidence that Supple's Building and Remodeling is committed to quality. Visit suples.net or call them today at 319-337-2246.
Hi, this is Tiffany at Senior Benefits. Are you confused with Medicare questions, anything having to do with Medicare? I take care of all Medicare customers, people under 65. I also do life insurance, long-term care, cancer insurance. I'm here to help you navigate any questions that you may be having or frustrations and anxiety that you may have with Medicare or insurance in general. Give me, Tiffany Rao, a call at 319-631-4795.
When someone is kind enough to share their time with us, we better make it worth their while.
They don't want to do people call it the game, right?
Patrick Gades and Terry Adams of Deary Brothers Ford talk about what Here For You means to them.
You don't have to spend a half a day in our dealership to get that good competitive price. We just want to try to deliver that to you up front.
And that makes me feel good. Makes me proud.
Because that's what people want. They want a fair, honest deal.
As far as a statement here for you, we want to not just say it, but live it.
Find out what it means to you at Deary Ford in Iowa City.
From the Harty and Stalker Studios in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Harty and Stalker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
I'm meteorologist Brittany Merlot. Sunny today and comfortable, with cooler than average temperatures. Highs only reach the low 70s. Got a northwest feisty breeze still. Clear skies tonight, low slip to the upper 40s. And for tomorrow, calm, comfortable still. Super sunny, highs in the mid-70s. Get a little warmer for Wednesday to the upper 70s, partly sunny. And for Thursday, hitting about 80 degrees again. That's the forecast on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. It's 60 degrees at our studios.
KCJJ weather, brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
We're back.
We are.
Where did Pat go?
I don't know. But we have football season is here, obviously.
Yeah.
We've just been talking about it. But also, the high school football season gears up. And Friday, we start things off with a bang. The city is erupting in rivalry, Steve.
Well, I'm kind of freaking out. I don't want to freak out too much.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
City High or West High at City High.
I'll freak out more closer.
When you get closer to kickoff?
Yeah.
I was talking to Sugar Ray this morning. He said they've standardized some things so games all start at 7 o'clock.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Figures after I get out of doing those games.
Well,
8:30, 9 o'clock nonsense.
Yeah, well,
I'd still find something to bitch
still
about.
Bet you.
I'd be bitching about something.
It's 8:15. I'm missing Rockford.
Yeah. If it's 8:50, I mean, 7 o'clock starts is what they should have done years ago. I mean,
of course.
I don't know what took them so long to show some common sense, but they did.
Well, because they had.
I think basically they just needed me out of
I
there.
think it was you bitching.
Just getting me out of there.
Well, they had the sophomore games beforehand, and if those run
Okay,
long,
then move them up an hour.
Well, I agree, but
or don't.
What do they have in those games now?
Just not before the varsity. I don't know. Okay.
In my day, they used to play the freshman games at 9 o'clock on Saturday mornings, and they'd play the sophomore games usually on Thursday nights. That's what I remember at Dowling and the Des Moines. That's how we did things back then. And yeah, you can't play a game at 5 o'clock and expect the other game to start anywhere close to 7.
No,
no. I mean, it was routinely 8:15, 8:30. Yeah, I bitched and moaned about it, but I mean,
sometimes later.
I was right though, wasn't I?
Yeah.
And there may have been better ways to handle the frustration, but by God, it led to change. I'm taking credit for the change.
Well, I know I'm taking credit for the change with you.
Yeah, you got me off the air. I remember Suter's like, "Do you really want to keep doing this?" And then I think you guys were praying that I would. I'm like, no, I don't. No, I don't want to keep doing this. But you guys made it seem like you know. But no, it was time for me to move on. You got Ray, glass half full, just couldn't be happier than a jaybird, and then you had me, and and we're all better off. Are you texting someone? What are you doing?
Yes, I'm texting.
Right.
Yeah.
But no,
okay?
I think we're all better off. Occasionally, I've done a couple games with Ray since then.
Yeah.
I did a baseball game. I haven't done a football game yet. Those Friday night football games take a lot out of you. And they really do. And then you got to find parking.
Yes. You're already bitching about it again.
Parking's a pain in the ass. Parking at Iowa games is a pain in the ass. Driving through tailgaters. Something to be said for staying at home. All right.
So it's going to be interesting Saturday morning with the game starting at 5, which isn't that the strangest start time ever?
Don't even get me started.
I don't think, 5 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, that gives them plenty of time to get the bread garden and get their tailgate supplies.
Oh, there you go.
I hope they have a big Great Dane on the sidelines.
I do too.
Just pooping. Wouldn't you like to see that?
No.
I think that'd be cool.
Pooping on our field.
And then it runs out into the field and disrupts the game. That would be just a big, massive Great Dane. I think that would be cool.
Rubs its butt on the field.
That would be good too. Right on the
Do you know,
on the hog.
I watched the Superman movie yesterday, which I totally.
There's a new Superman movie.
Yeah, and I totally enjoyed it, and and the dog Crypto. That's
I'm not familiar with
Superman's
Superman at all.
dog.
Yeah, I remember Crypto.
Crypto's an a-hole. He won't obey him at times, but it's really an enjoyable movie.
Really?
I really liked it.
I don't think I'll watch it.
I'm just not I'm not into Superman, Batman, any of that stuff.
Well, this is kind of a different take on it.
Yeah, I'm sure
and everything. It is. I mean,
I'll take your word
yeah,
for it.
Yeah, he could be beaten by other.
No, he can't.
aliens.
He's
Well,
Superman.
Well, if I'm going to watch,
faster than a speeding bullet.
Well,
more powerful than a locomotive.
yeah, I
Nobody can
understand.
beat him.
Yeah, well, that Superman shot himself. So this Superman is woke.
But is it the actor who played? I thought I read something where the actor who played him is woke or something. Is he?
I don't know.
I thought I remember reading that.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I've just never been into the Superman
But
stuff.
the
It's
dog's enjoyable, and at the end they bring out Supergirl as Supergirl, and she's she just drinks all the time.
Supergirl's a
drunk,
a lush.
She's a lush.
She hot?
Yes. Oh yes. No, it was just enjoyable.
Who
Just
plays Supergirl? Do
Something
you know?
to do. I don't remember.
Is it getting good ratings?
It's doing pretty. Yeah, it did well at the theaters. I mean, it's not the biggest movie.
Like I said, the last one I watched was the one starring Christopher Reeve.
Yeah.
The original, and it was okay.
Been a while back.
It was okay.
Yeah, it was.
I like this take. I just like this.
But you also like Batman too, don't you?
Not really.
No,
I'm
I don't
sick
either.
Of Batman.
Yeah, I never liked Batman.
I haven't
moping
either.
around. Okay, your parents got killed. I get it. Get over it now. You're an adult.
But didn't they do like 3 or 4 Batmans?
Yeah.
Oh, easy.
Just not
the last one I saw, it was the most tedious, darkest movie I've ever seen. It was about 3.5 hours long, and I'm sitting there watching it. And I said, "Who likes this?"
I saw the last one I saw was Batman versus Superman, and it was ridiculous.
Yeah, and it would be a 5-second
Unless it was the new
blurb.
Superman who's flawed with drunks hanging around him.
Yeah, that would have been good. Hello.
Hello. You were talking about meeting famous people.
Yeah.
And I was introduced to a lot of the Baltimore people because I knew Eddie. And he introduced me to Earl Weaver.
Oh.
And I'd been meeting all these tall guys, so I looked at him and I said, you're somebody my own size. He put his hand on my shoulder and said, yes, us little people have to stick together.
There you go. Great manager.
Earl Weaver, yes, he was. Yes, he was.
So, and he always said hi to me whenever I was around there, so I was...
You knew Boog Powell,
nice.
didn't you know Boog Powell?
He could be nasty to other people, but...
Didn't you know Boog
he
Powell?
was nice then.
Didn't you know Boog Powell?
Yeah, Boog Powell, he picked me up one time and showed me how he could lift me up above the, he was lifting up a school sign. I went, man, that's tough. He said, yeah, and he grabbed me and lifted me up in the air and scared the heck out of me.
That's assault, isn't it, Captain?
Yeah, that's harassment.
There's a lawsuit there. All right.
Well, anyway, we'll talk to you guys later.
So,
it looks like it's going to be a nice day.
Beautiful
I hope
day.
It's nice like this all week, and then
It's
at
supposed
the
to be.
football
Yep.
game, it's even nicer.
It's supposed to be a high of 75, and that will be passed by the time the game starts.
Yeah, no, it should
So,
be nice.
Should be nice.
Enjoy
Oh,
it.
yeah. So we should enjoy it, because wasn't last year the first game horrible?
Oh, my God, it was 8,000 degrees. Oh, my God.
I think I've never left a game early, but I think I had to leave at halftime because I was about ready to croak. I went out, and this police lady said, I'm going to take you to your car, and she drove me all the way to my car.
Well, that was nice.
And I think that was, I believe I have this right, that was the game that my sister-in-law went to, and she had to go to the medical thing at
several
halftime.
people. And as I was walking out, this one lady just plopped right in front of me.
You guys make fun of me for wanting to watch
went
from
right
home.
down on the cement.
Yeah.
And I had to stand there because people coming out were going to step on her. Because, I mean, you couldn't see coming out. All of a sudden,
It's not
you're
funny,
going
but
from
it is.
sunlight into
No, it's
dark,
funny.
and you don't see it. And she just flattened out. I've never seen anybody go down like that.
Or you never.
But they got over and hurried up and got her out of there.
Never been to a dead show.
Yeah. You've never
Yeah,
met
it
Lois
was bad.
Feldman.
Oh, yeah.
And I told my sister, any more games that are like that, and we're not going.
No, I don't blame you. There is a limit.
Yeah.
Tom, would it
Yeah.
ever be too hot for you to go to an Iowa game? Let's say this Saturday the forecast was 103. Albany.
The hottest I've ever been was down in
KC.
Kansas City.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's hottest too, but for I was in air conditioning.
I mean, what that is, it was too hot to drink beer.
That was my first game I ever experienced
yeah.
air conditioning in a press box.
Yeah, I could not. I mean, I had one beer, and I said, I'm not doing this. I'm not in. I'm going to get a headache if
Mother
I keep
Nature's
doing
the
this.
only one that can make it stop, Captain.
And yeah, I mean that was
Took the
that was-
party right out of
When
him.
you're walking, you can't even breathe because it's so.
No, and I
Oh, that was brutal.
I remember just assuming that there was no air conditioning because Iowa didn't have it. When I walked into that Arrowhead press box and was hit by that cold, I'm like, oh, thank God, because God, it was hot. Plus, there's no shade around Arrowhead Stadium either. It's just out in the middle of a parking lot.
I heard people talk about that one. They said they just couldn't stay there. They
It
had
was
to
brutal.
get out of there.
No, it was just way too hot to play football.
Well, what about the poor football players?
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Okay, now, Karen, looking at WeatherBug, and we just our weather forecaster said it's going to be dry. WeatherBug says there's a 25% chance of rain starting at 4 o'clock and going all the way through the game.
Which means there's a 75% chance it won't.
That's correct.
So, yeah, they'll be
And
fine.
73 degrees at kickoff, and by the time the game's over, it could be as it's 66.
Wow.
So that's
Perfect.
fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if it's a little bit of rain, that doesn't hurt anybody.
No.
You got ponchos.
As long as there's no
Put those
lightning.
on. If it's a lot of rain, I've sat through a lot of rain before with a poncho
Oh, yeah.
on, so I can sit through a little rain.
Just no lightning.
One of the worst rainstorms I sat through at a game was up in Wisconsin, and it was for Barry Alvarez Day.
Oh, 2005.
Oh, that's
I was
right.
there.
I remember that.
I remember that.
And oh my God, it was brutal. And we ended up coming back after looking terrible
Yeah.
in the first half. Ended up coming back and winning that game.
And that, by the end of the game, I remember being out in the field. It was not raining at the end of the game. 'Cause
no.
I remember being out on the field.
And didn't they have little flags or hankies or something they gave out to everybody?
Probably.
Yeah, they probably did. I'm
Because
sure
I
they did.
remember taking mine and putting it in my pocket, and when I walked out, there were these wet things laying all over the field.
Well, and Iowa
All
did
over
not. That was
the
2005.
stadium.
Iowa didn't have a great year that year. They lost. They went 7-5 that
No,
year.
but-
So that was a day
yeah.
though that they really rose
I-
up. I was surprised.
I couldn't believe we
I
won that
loved
game.
it. I loved it.
Halftime, I was thinking, man, this is brutal.
That was not a Barry Alvarez day. It just didn't play out obviously the way he. But his teams usually rose to the occasion.
They
That
did.
day they didn't.
Well, now don't they have a big audio screen? Don't they? They didn't have one way back.
Yeah, everyone
then.
does now. Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much
they
everyone does now.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, the parking around there is horrible, but we usually found pretty good seats. One time we parked, my sister said, I wonder where the stadium is. I said, well, look out of the car and look up, and you'll see it kind of over the top of us. We parked in this guy's driveway for $20, and all we had to do was walk 10 feet, and there we are.
Well,
Yeah, the media.
things have changed.
The media, the parking. There's one where it was a mile away. It's a hike.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Wisconsin. It's a hike.
We had that, too. I'm too old for that now.
And the one we used to have to take it through State Street, which is just packed with people on the day of the
State
game.
Street's crazy.
An hour. It's an hour or a mile east of the stadium is where they used to have media park. Now we park in a different area, but it's a different walk uphill over like these bridges and stuff. But it's still probably 3/4 of a mile. That's
But
why
you know,
again
that stadium is in such a funny way that you can get lost real easy trying to find your way out of there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, we're at Kinnick. You could not get lost. It'd be impossible to
Yeah.
get lost at Kinnick Stadium. You couldn't.
But there, my sister and I, one time we got in there, we went to get to our car. We ended up down by some stream, and then we came back, and we were going around. We ended up down by the same stream, and finally some guy had to come out and help us find our car.
Yeah, it's different.
Boy,
there.
we were pathetic.
No.
It was pathetic going there. Anyway, you guys have a good
All
game.
right,
All right, you too, Karen.
But she's right, though. I still, at times, I mean, I go to Camp Randall about every other year.
Yeah.
And there's still times where I'm like, okay, do I go up that ramp? It's just weird. Where's Kinnick? I mean, it's so easy. And I will say, I've said it before, the Iowa game day experience is as good as any. I mean, now they're having us park in the new ramp, literally right across the street.
Yeah.
And that's where the visiting media will park too. Whereas like a lot of these other Big Ten places, they make you walk a long distance, which I know I'm whining, but Iowa doesn't. I mean, Iowa has it all laid out right there for traffic. Can be a pain at sometimes, but my guess is like when I go to the Albany game, it's a 5 o'clock tip-off. I'll probably leave my house 3:15. I won't have any traffic. Everyone will already be there for the most
that
part.
would be my guess.
So I just got to get there soon enough to get a place in the ramp, and I imagine that's not going to be a problem because I doubt Albany's bringing much media.
I wouldn't think so. And we'll be doing our picks, our football picks, Saturday morning.
Long-ass day, man.
It's a long day.
You guys are making it a long day for me, Captain.
Oh, man, I feel bad for
I mean,
you.
it's like working a double shift.
Yeah, sure.
Come in here in the morning and then at Kinnick Stadium at night.
Well, you'll have time to go out and have, a large pizza or some fried chicken and mashed potatoes somewhere.
Where would I do that? At Kinnick Stadium?
Not at Kinnick.
Oh, you mean prior
you have
to the
so
game.
much time.
No, I'm going to, I'll do stuff. I'll maybe do a little yard. Well, I'll probably watch games.
Yeah.
I mean, but the Ohio State, Texas, that's at night though, right? That's the same time as Iowa, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's I wish the Albany game was at 11.
Well, it ain't.
Well, the Iowa State game is, but you'll be in Ames.
I'll be in Ames. I wish the Iowa State game was at 11's fine.
What is Albany at? What channel is it?
God.
That I can find out.
You can easily find out.
Yeah.
Weitz will Google it out. He Googled out, or not Googled, he tweeted out all the different broadcasts for all the 7 home games and who the talent is, the on-air personalities. But no, I did. Did you see that little 7-minute tribute that ESPN did to Corso? They walked him into the theater. That was really neat.
That was nice.
That was really neat. And I'll tell you what, I know it was one brief encounter, but he is a really nice person.
That's what everybody says.
You can just tell when you meet somebody. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I told you my bad experiences, Bob Greasy, Bob Filler. Maybe it's something with the name Bob. Yeah. I mean, Bob Filler was so mean. The person on the phone, he brought him to tears from laughing because he was so. but Dick Vitale's another one. Dick Vitale's so nice when you meet him in person. I did not mention him in my column.
FS1.
Okay, but no, I could tell because Corso could have easily said, son, I'm busy. It's 6 a.m. I'm tired. I got work. But he just once I introduced myself to him, I became his world for those few precious minutes, and that's something you appreciate. And he's a people person. Plus, he was a hell of a football player. I remember Deion Sanders broke his record at Florida State for interceptions. He was a really good player, and he was a good coach. He was, he coached at Navy, he coached at Indiana.
He was a good coach.
He's just been great for the game, and he's a great person. And I wrote in my column what he did for me just in that brief encounter. Imagine being like his close friend, people who works with him daily, his family members. Imagine what he does for them. Just, as far as...
No, people haven't found a bad comment about him.
Never. He's the John Streif of ESPN. Yeah. That's kind of, that's just... No, I have not heard anyone say anything bad about him. But it's going to be sad seeing him go, but he is 90. That kind of caught up on me. He's 90.
It's hard to believe, isn't it?
Well, yeah,
of course,
but
think back at
my
his
dad,
first game.
You're right, and he was born in mid-1930s. But my dad, if he was alive, would be 100 this coming March. So, time slips away from you. Yeah, this coming March would be my dad's 100th birthday.
I mean, that game against Iowa was, 46 years ago? So.
Yeah, I was a freshman in high school. Yeah, it's crazy. Were you there? Were you at that game?
Oh, my God, yes. And I felt like, my God, we scored.
Well, at halftime you were yelling, "Bring on Michigan," weren't you?
I was just saying, I'm just sorry that the game's not over because what an incredible...
So were you paranoid? Were you paranoid that they were going to find a way to lose?
Of course.
Okay.
And they did.
Yeah, and they did because Iowa didn't know how to win then.
No.
Now, I will say that team ended up going 5-6. Remember, it was the 80 team that had injuries that went 4-7, but Cummings did not... This narrative that Cummings left the cupboard bare, that's not true.
No.
And I think people who are really familiar with Iowa football understand the talent that was on that defense. Offense, yeah, there were issues.
Now, if Cummings had the kind of schedules that we have
he would have
now,
survived. At least his first contract, he would have survived.
Yes, he would
now,
have.
we don't know if he would have been able to. Eventually, he would have had to have done more than go 7-5. But, yeah, if you just gave him a normal schedule, there was a couple 7-5, 8-4.
He would have broken that streak.
He would have broken that streak.
Yep.
But the schedule was what do you think Cummings would say about Iowa's schedule this year?
Well, the non-conference, he would.
Yes. There's years where one year. Remember, UCLA was really good back then. There was years where they played USC, Penn State, and UCLA, and I think didn't they play Alabama one year?
I don't remember that.
Maybe I'm wrong about Alabama. Oh, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, for sure.
But USC and Penn State and UCLA were staples. They were consistently on their non-conference schedule.
I think Oklahoma was the game that we
that was
played. Yeah, it was Hayden, but we played them really close. And he said, "I don't want to see a single smile."
I'll smack it off your face, and that rubbed some people the wrong way. But that was Hayden sending a message. Hayden did not at all. Was not an abusive coach at all, but he could be tough when he had to, and he knew then that culture needed change.
Yes,
and he knew there was going to be. Wow, look, we hung in there because remember that was the year after Billy Sims had won the Heisman Trophy, and Billy Sims was still on that team. Now he did shred Iowa for a bunch of rushing yards, but they were competitive. But that wasn't enough for Hayden.
No,
and I was glad that he sent that message.
Yeah, as a every day here, I send that message.
That you're just not going to tolerate mediocrity.
Not going to tolerate anything.
Well, you sure seem to tolerate a lot.
I'm sick of it.
You're sick of it? There's a new narrative. I've actually enjoyed today's show.
No, this has been great. Great having Donnie
I've
on.
had fun, Captain.
Yeah.
I've actually had fun.
Yeah?
Yeah. We got A.J. Perez coming in. Nothing, just two old kids from Des Moines going to, at least right now with a schedule like him and running the vehicle empire that he does, it may change. But he said the 27th he's going to come in and not promoting it, just coming in to kind of shoot the you-know-what.
Yeah. Well, it'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun. AJ and I grew up together, and he's living back. I assume he's living in Waukee. I mean, I assume that's where, but he had to move from Iowa City.
He comes back and forth.
Well, no, but his home, he sold his home. He's now his main residence, and that's where most of his family is and what have you. But I hate to see a friend leave town, but he's going to my hometown, which I haven't lived
90 minutes away.
A little more than 90.
Yeah.
A little more than 90.
Well, he'll be able to go to Tasty Tacos.
Yeah. And, I've never really asked. I'll have to ask, because the Perez family taco, that's not necessarily competition for a Tasty, but those are two different tacos that came out of Des Moines. I wonder what AJ, I'll have to ask him.
But like
his thoughts
the taco shells of the Perez family tacos
are similar.
They're
smaller. They're smaller, but they're made the same way. They're both deep fat fried. They taste a little different, but they're both great.
They're both
great. But I'll have to ask AJ. That'll be one of our questions for Wednesday. Where does Tasty Taco stand in your selection list? Because I know you've got your own, and your family has that type of food. But no. This was fun with Donnie today, and I like it when Donnie breaks away from some of the hardcore analysis stuff and tells stories. Because he's got a lot of stories to tell, and that Bobby Knight story was pretty funny.
That was great.
And there was a side of Bobby Knight that was great. I mean, when Landon Turner got paralyzed from the car wreck, Bobby Knight was a knight in shining armor for that guy. But I saw him too many times just treat people like crap.
There are, everybody's got.
He's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Well, most everybody is.
Not most people are as extreme as him.
No,
I mean,
you've got Jekyll and Hyde.
But you hear those old audio of him yelling and screaming at like women's secretary. He at times would just lose his freaking mind.
He would poop at his team.
It was just you could go on and on. When he threw the chair, you joke about that chair, but he could have hurt somebody.
Seriously, I meant it just because
he may have been a closet Gigi Allen fan too. I don't know if anyone ever asked him.
I don't know. Yeah, why would
he's dead?
Yeah, I know. I was going to say why, he's dead.
Why didn't?
Well, you know something. It's hard to believe some people are dead that are dead.
I agree. Bobby Knight's one of them.
Yeah.
Bill Walton is one of them. I had to remind myself the other day that Bill Walton's dead. Yeah, that one really still I need to catch up on.
Yeah.
But Bobby Knight though, his last few years, he had some rough stuff. He kind of faded fast. Once he kind of fell out of sight.
He came back to Assembly Hall,
and he did not look good.
Oh, he did not look good at all.
No, he did not look good. But he was just such an angry person, and I just don't know why he was so angry when he had so much success and he had everything he could have wanted, and he was just so angry. I didn't get it.
This is something we can have fun with. Some of the games this week. See, Western Illinois shouldn't be much of a game. Yeah, Ohio. Oh no, Texas Ohio State is at 11 a.m.
Oh, good. All right.
Yeah, so we'll be able to watch that.
I'll be able to watch that I'll be able to watch the whole thing in its entirety.
Let's see, Tennessee and Syracuse.
Yeah, I'd give
Alabama, Florida State.
I'll give that a lot. Remember, Florida State went 2-10 last year, I believe.
That's at 2:30.
I'm guessing the Iowa State-South Dakota game's on somewhere, too.
2:30.
It'll be interesting to see how Iowa State bounces back from that. South Dakota's not great by any means, but they're going to be fired up for that game.
No, it'll be a challenge for them, and I imagine Iowa State will be suffering a little bit.
One of the narratives I'm seeing now is a lot of Iowa State fans see no reason why they're not going to be 7-0. They think they're first. And if you're an Iowa State fan,
maybe they will be.
They have not beaten Iowa in Ames since 2011. It's been a while, and see that's the other thing I worry about. Not only is Iowa State a good team with good defense, but the law of averages. At some point, it works to your advantage, and I just wonder if Iowa has, their little run here in Ames has run out, and it wouldn't surprise me if it runs out in a year when Iowa State's got a senior all-conference type quarterback playing. And I'll tell you, they're loaded at tight end.
Yeah, they
that
are.
That Burkle kid from Cedar Rapids is good, and that Ben Bremer, he is really good. And but I was mostly impressed with how good their lines were because they were playing against a really good team.
Yeah.
A really good team. And Don was right. That Marcus Neal, he was all over the field.
Yes, he was.
Number 31. He was really good. But Iowa, they'll have a plan. It's going to be, like I said, I'm looking forward to the game. And once I get there, I'll be glad that it's at 11. It's just a matter. But I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning anyway. I'm going to ride over there with Mike Halas, and I'll just drive up to his house, get there about 6:30 and ride over there. And we'll get there about 8:30, 9 o'clock. And once you get there, it's fine. And it'll be nice having the game in at 2:30, be able to maybe leave Ames around 6 or 7 and get home at a decent time. So, and I just hope it's a good game because lots of times the Iowa State games are close, but they're not good games.
But they're not great
They're
games.
just not fun games. They're boring games. The one, what was it, 10-7 when Iowa State beat them 2 years ago? But they're just not good. They're just not fun games to watch. Because it seems like, I don't know, I'm not saying both teams play not to lose because that's cliche, but sometimes it does seem that way.
Hello.
Hey, Pat, does it look like the Hawks have speed at the wideout position?
Better speed. I'm not saying they're Blazers by any means. They've got better speed, but what I like is they've got more versatility. They've got big receivers. They've got smaller slot receivers and what have you, and they've just got more of them that are all of a certain quality where they can all contribute, I think, at least 7 or 8 of them. But no, they don't have what I would say are any burners.
Well, looking at the Iowa State game from last Saturday, they got deep a couple of times. One was a coverage. The one touchdown later in the game was a coverage.
Yeah, that was poor angle by the safety.
Yeah, it was. And then, that just opened the guy up. But there was a throw that their quarterback made downfield. That was great. They beat the entire secondary downfield and got the touchdown that time as well. I just didn't know if Iowa had somebody that could.
I mean, Jacob Gill, we saw him. He's a good receiver, but he's not a Blazer.
Not a Blazer.
Sam Phillips, I've seen enough of him, the guy from Chattanooga. He's not a Blazer. Dayton Howard, not a Blazer.
Van Zee,
not a Blazer. But they're all decent receivers. But no, they do not have some Quinn Early, some game changer with speed-wise on the roster. But you can still get guys to take the wrong angle if you run your pass routes right and your timing and anticipation are working. But no, they don't have some huge deep threat that's just going to run past everybody.
Yeah, but at least we have a quarterback, it sounds like now, that's going to be better than what we've had the last.
Well, you hope so. I mean,
yeah,
but
we hope.
But we did say that 2 years ago with Cade McNamara. Oh, God, he's going to be a step up from Petrus. And he wasn't. He was a step down. But I'm not saying that's going to happen to Gradowski.
Sorry, Mr. Suter. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, hopefully we can. I'm going to the game over in Ames. So that's a fun day because you go to the game in Ames. And I know you guys aren't into stock car racing, but the IMC Super Nationals are being held in Boone that day as well. So as soon as the game's over, head to the west about 17 miles and go watch some of the best stock car racing in the nation.
Oh, wow.
All right. Well,
cool. Yeah, I know. That's not exciting to you guys.
Sounds like a plan.
I like stock car racing a lot.
I do too, especially that one. They have I know this is not, it's not Hawkeye related, but they have a deal where during the feature, they put the cars out there 3 abreast, kind of like what you see at Indianapolis at the 500.
Uh-huh.
And they start them that way, which is when you see them coming out at turn 4, 3 abreast, it's some of the most amazing racing I've ever seen. So, but hopefully the Hawks go down to Ames and continue the tradition of beating them at home, and we can brag about being the Hawkeye state still.
All I can say, Jerry, better thee than me at the stock car race.
Well, Jan and I used to
I know
go
you're
to.
not into it.
No, Jan and I used to go to stock car races all the time in the 70s.
Yeah.
And
where'd you go, Cap? Did you go
West
to
Liberty.
Rapids, or did you go?
We went to West Liberty. We had friends that were racing there, and no, I really liked it. And one day, I had to work, and Jan went alone with her friends and came home wearing a sombrero, smoking.
Oh, that was from the stock car races?
Yeah.
Smoking what?
Smoking a cigar. I don't think she was smoking the cigar, but she had a cigar and a sombrero, and she had.
Was she yelling like yeehaw and stuff like that? She was out of control, is what you're saying.
Was she toasted?
She was out of control.
She was a little toasted.
She was a walking misdemeanor.
So one more little tidbit about racing. I know this, like I said, this isn't your guys' forte, but coming up in September, they're putting dirt down on the quarter mile at Hawkeye Downs, and for the 100th anniversary, they're going to bring back dirt track racing to Hawkeye Downs for like the first time in over 20 years.
Oh, cool. All right.
So if anybody's into that, they're bringing the IMCA, which is the top division of dirt track racing, out to Hawkeye Downs, and it'll be nice because it's been the 90s since we had a dirt track in Cedar Rapids. So it'll be a neat experience.
Well, all right then.
Man, I lost you guys again, man. The crickets are chirping.
Well,
okay, no more race talk, Mr. Suter. I'm done with it.
All right, man. Thanks for the call. Where are you?
You guys have a good day. Yeah. What's that?
Where are you now?
I'm home today. I'm at home. I had a doctor's appointment this morning, so. But then I'm on my way to back down to Alexandria, Kentucky. So.
Oh, okay. Well, say hey to everybody down there for us.
I will do that. No more race talk. You guys have a great day. Go Hawks.
All right. No more race talk.
I did. We had fun at those stock car races.
Oh, people, I get it. And I will say that if I gotta watch racing, I want it to be live.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's so much better than on TV. It is just boring AF.
It is, but the problem with the live is that it means you have to go there.
Well, yeah, but you can at least have a $10 beer and a cold hot dog.
It's fun. I always.
Well, live, it's a much better experience. Yeah. I will certainly give you guys that.
Stock car racing or a dead show in the 70s? What are you picking?
Stock car racing. Listen, I went to.
I know you're going to tell the same story. We're going to hear it again.
Yeah.
You're going to paint a broad brush based on one experience.
Oh, they're crapping all over the place.
Whatever.
Who, the dead?
No, the people. The dead wouldn't be bad if the people wouldn't show up. It's the crowd that ruins the concert.
No, I will say that. There's by the end.
Yeah.
God, to think that this just this August 8th was Jerry's 30-year anniversary of his death, I believe. 30 years. You believe that?
God, it's hard to believe.
30 years since Jerry died. Crazy.
And I bought some Jerry Garcia ties at Bremer's.
Weren't those really good ties?
Yeah, they were.
Me too.
So did he design them?
Yes.
But no, actually, I remember reading he made money. He made money on those things.
Yeah, he designed the whole thing.
He died. It's too bad because he was a nice guy. I've read a lot of stuff about he was just a really nice guy.
Nice.
Really a nice guy.
Got to meet him.
Yeah, you did get to meet him, didn't you?
Yeah, and super. Everybody in the band was nice.
Yeah, and I always even.
But like I said,
how about Pigpen?
Everybody.
Pigpen died in like 1972. If I remember correctly.
Pigpen wasn't there, but everybody in that band was really.
That's good
nice.
to hear. That is good to hear.
It was the attendings.
And I remember I always bring up
you go, Jesus Christ, this one. I remember looking at this one guy, very serious.
Wasn't one of them named like Ramrod?
This one guy that I gotta get back there. He's trying to get back.
Are you talking about like the stagehands and stuff like the groupies, the roadies?
The groupies, not the roadies or anything. No, they were all pros. But this guy was pounded on it. We had this fencing around it, Hey, I got to get back there. I got to meet Jerry.
Was he under the influence of something?
I don't think this guy ever bathed in his entire life.
Well, the one thing with the dead that gets lost is with all the Jerry was a pretty good guitarist. He had a very unique sound.
Tremendously talented.
He was a good musician.
Oh, he was a great musician. He played pedal steel. And excellent.
And he had
musician.
the kind of guitar sound right when you heard it, you knew it was him. Same with Mark Knopfler. I would say there are two of the most recognizable sounds out there.
The best, again, I watch it sometimes. David Letterman interviewing him.
I bring that up all the time when he's teasing about having the top. When he's teasing about having the top 40 touch of grade, and then you look over at Jerry's like, "Yeah, what do you do?" You know, he's acting like, "Yeah, it's not our fault we have a top 40." And it was funny. And Dave just kept laughing that the Grateful Dead had a top 40 song. It was Jerry and Bob Weir.
But they only had one, didn't they?
Well, I don't know. Well, I'm trying to think.
Touch of Grey was it?
Fire in the Mountain.
I don't think that was.
See a Fire Mountain. I mean, when you say, are we talking literally top 40?
Yes.
Okay.
For as successful as they were.
I'm trying to think.
I could be wrong. Maybe Truckin'.
Truckin', maybe, which is not one of my favorite songs. Casey Jones, not one of my favorite songs.
I mean, either of those two.
How about Estimated Profit?
I love that.
I do too. That's one of my favorites.
The Grateful Dead's top 40 hit.
Touch of Grey.
Touch of Grey.
Yeah. That's the only one.
Yeah.
Okay. Good song too.
Yeah, it was. No, I liked the Grateful Dead a lot. A couple of their albums I loved.
Working Man's Dead's a
Working Man's Dead was fantastic.
Terrapin Station's one of my favorite albums of all time.
American Beauty I loved.
American Beauty's good. Side B of Terrapin Station, I could listen to it forever.
But I was deeply disappointed at their show. Deeply.
Yeah, well, so was I.
So you only went to one too?
Uh-huh.
And I was early. because they.
Oh, I'm sure some shows were better than others.
I wish they would have just played more. Yeah, I couldn't tell. It started out with St. Stephen's.
I loved them at Alpine Valley,
and then it just.
Alpine Valley was such a great.
It's like
venue.
It never ended.
You guys ever been to Alpine Valley?
No.
Yes.
God, it's a great venue.
Yeah. I've heard that.
Great venue. Especially if you camp near there too. It's just everything's right there. It's just East Troy, Wisconsin. That needs to be on your bucket list. You need to see a concert at Alpine Valley. I think you'd really like it.
I probably would.
Have you been to Red Rocks?
No.
Really?
No, let me take that back. I haven't been at a concert at Red Rocks. We did go to the venue to see it.
Did you walk up the ramp? It's a hike.
We parked at one of the parking lots and then walked up some, but not from
all the way up there. It's a hike.
I
remember walking. I'm like, God, this show better be good. But it was Steely Dan. Well, again, thanks to Don Patterson for kicking off the 2025 football season the right way as he always does, and we'll have him on each Monday throughout the season. And everybody out there, enjoy the weather.
Yep, and hopefully we will be talking about a big victory on Monday, and the weather should behave for us on Saturday. Let's hope so. Molly Suter is next, and Hawkfanatic.com. Check it out; it's free.
KCJJ weather brought to you by Plum.